Okay, so that was a picture of the driveway. Our property is about 350 feet from the road. It goes down and then way back up, and you do not get up our driveway unless you have four-wheel drive in the winter. So I tell all my friends that if you don't have four-wheel drive, I'll meet you in town somewhere and we'll hang out, because you're not getting up my driveway. So this is the property. This is the garden. This is called a hoop house or a high tunnel. This is new this year. It's a really successful way of growing things in the ground, but keeping them warm. The plants that I have outside in the greenhouse are root-type plants, carrots, potatoes, onions, and things like that. And they grow really well up here and outside, so you don't need to have them inside a hoop house. So our property, I think, is quite lovely. We have lots of old spruce trees. We did try to preserve the larger ones, but we did have to cut a few of them down, and I stopped counting rings at 100. So some of these trees are over 100 years old, which is kind of cool, because spruces don't usually live that long, at least not ours. These are the sheds, and the funny thing about that is the smaller one on the right is the one that we lived in for like 4 months while we were building the house. The first week that we were in the property, we had to it was like bushwhacking to get in here. And we set up camp, and we had a tent, and we lived in that for a week until we were able to get the shed built and get supplies out here. And then we lived in that shed. It's 12 by 12, and it's plywood. And we lived in that for 4 months. So that was our home until we got the house built. So I'm really proud of the house. Tony and I drew up the plans for it ourselves, and we built it ourselves. We did everything ourselves, except for we had someone come out and help us pour the foundation, and we had a little bit of help putting the rafters up in the ceiling of the house. But other than that, we did everything ourselves. I think it's a cute little, country ranch style home.
This is the inside of the house. It's all one big room. So this is a separate room. So you walk in, that's the front door.
This is a mud room.
Mud room, I'm sorry.
And this is so that when you come in and it's 50 degrees below zero outside and you're cold and you're wet, you can come in here and you can sit down and you can get all cleaned up. And we have this little partition here in between the living room and the bedroom, which is kind of a mess right now because Cassie's bed is upside down on top of ours.
That's my bed.
But we have a vaulted ceiling, which is really nice because even though this place is small, the ceiling makes it look bigger. And the bathroom's not
That's Tony.
finished.
And Nanook.
The bathroom's not finished yet, and there's laundry hanging in here, but I have a jacuzzi tub, which is totally uber awesome. Love my jacuzzi tub. So it's going to be really cute when we get it done. We're going to go in the garden. This is our moose fence. It's a little more uptown here. It's kind of down backwoods something over there because it's nothing but tree limbs and stuff. Keep the moose out. And it's 5 feet high.
It's taller than me. A little bit.
These are potatoes. There are 140 mounds, and each mound produces between 10 and 20 potatoes. So do the math, folks. That's a lot of potatoes. Carrots, which I've already started picking, so that's why they're kind of looking kind of goofy. Collards, which I've also picked over pretty well. Onions were back there. Sorry. And then these are cabbage. You can look at this nice cabbage head. You can see how big that is based on my hand. This greenhouse has yellow squash. You can see the squash down in here. And then also zucchini. And then we have peas. And all along this side is 4 different varieties of green beans. I'm trying different varieties because I'm trying to see which ones will grow best up here. So you can see that I've got some really nice beans. I mean, these aren't even fully developed yet, and they're already longer than my hand.
Mommy likes her vegetables.
Yes, I do. I like to grow things.
Look at the peas.
See my pea pods? The peas are huge. Some of them are the size of garbanzo beans. We're going to pick some of those later too. Alright. These are all cucumber plants. These are all different varieties of peppers. I have bell peppers, sweet Italians, hot. So those are all up there. And then these are the tomatoes. Now, up until a few years ago, growing tomatoes in Alaska was pretty much thought unheard of. But there have been some people who've been really successful at it and have shared their knowledge. So I'm trying some of their techniques because it just doesn't get warm enough up here. But I've got some really nice tomatoes developing. And I'm hoping that we have enough summer left for them to turn red. If not, I'm going to have a lot of green ones.
We'll fry them. It'll be fine.
There you go.